What's going on with the situation with the manor and the besties?
It's still an ongoing thing. I think it was cooled down during Christmas the last 2 days.
No. I'm talking about the incident from today.
Or this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the 2 people were.
Yeah. What's going on with that?
Do you want me to explain the situation? Or
yeah. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was finishing up a A+ boost, and the car was stuck in upper motor. Like, we couldn't even pit it, so we were doing that, and then we saw the 311 for the 77s, and gunshots, and we got there. As soon as I get there, one of the guys in a Christmas outfit says it's not safe here, running around with the class 2. I go on the radio and I'm like, TLDR, if they don't put their guns away within 3 seconds after we warn them, we are going to shoot them. I'm tired of the manor besties shootouts and us not shooting them because we just sit there because we're scared. So I roll in, I tell the people towards San Andreas and Alta to put their guns away. They put their guns away. I turn around and I see the 2 people on the sidewalk getting robbed. I tell officers to stop them. Then the people at San Andreas get in their cars and leave, and the other people had left. We didn't have units to do.
Could you kind of start from the top? You're using a lot of like people and they, and there's 2 separate groups. So
yeah, okay. Manor was on the ground and besties were robbing them.
So you rolled up and there's Manor on the ground and besties are robbing them?
Yeah. Besties were the people robbing 2 on the sidewalk of Alta Street, and then I think 1 was at the top towards San Andreas and Alta.
Okay.
And then those people left in like the Peaky Blinders car they have, or whatever it's called, the little 4-door like old-timey car, the besties. And then they left, and then I said we could not pursue because we didn't have enough units to pursue them. And it probably would have likely turned violent, so we collapsed on the 3 downed manor members on the sidewalk. I GSR'd mine. I said...
Who's yours?
Mine was, I believe, Frank. I let him go because he was GSR negative. So I was going to bring him to CMC first, and I told there was no EMS, so I was getting ready to move on to CMC. And then... I told him to load them all up in mine, and then I was like, wait, never mind. I'm going to take mine first so he doesn't interfere with the other 2 that are going to get a problem. I mean, I assumed they were getting arrested, and I didn't want him to interfere because I'm letting him go because he's GSR negative on the scene. So I took him first, and then I said to Chapman to put them in one of the other 2 cars. And then he's like, we have a 2-door. And then I said, Fred's here and Davenport's here. They both have a free seat. You can put them in one of theirs, and they'll transport with you. So I go to CMC first, then drop the guy off towards like sanitation, and then I come. He didn't want to give a statement, is what it is.
How are
he couldn't really remember?
Are the besties ID'd?
Just the cars, I think. Just through the cars.
Okay.
And then,
so we suspected the besties were robbing the manor?
Yeah.
Okay.
So those people were let go, and then
So I'm reading
that
through.
Guy dropped off at sanitation.
I'm reading through your statement right now. Is this accurate?
I mean, I could double check yet.
Yeah. I just want to make sure this is accurate before, I handle this. I don't know if this is like, SBS or if this is serious. If it is serious, I'm going to make sure it's handled appropriately.
If what is serious? Like the situation at CMC with the marshals, with Chapman and Ruth?
Correct. I'm reading through this statement and...
Well, I didn't take kindly to Chapman saying, well, since you let that person go, we're going to let this person go.
Before we dive into that, like, are these serious? Is this lighthearted between y'all? Is this... I
felt like Chapman was being spiteful
is
because
it serious
of what
or
I
is
said.
It not serious?
I mean, I think it's... Okay. I think it's serious. I don't think it's not serious.
Okay, so if it's serious, here's just a couple things. Do you believe that this is a professionally written statement?
Professionally written?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So who is the primary on the scene?
The first people on scene were Brooke and Chapman.
Okay.
Then at CMC, I didn't like how they were just going to let him go because of what I presume the comment I said earlier on scene to Chapman about telling him to look around. There's 2 other cars that he could put him in.
Okay.
I was telling him not to load the
Did
suspect
you
into my
consult
car.
with Ruth?
About what?
Well, she's the primary, right?
Right, but she was going to let them go because
Okay.
I let my suspect go, which just didn't make any sense.
I understand, but you have to understand that things don't need to make sense, or it's up to the primary, right? At the end of the day, am I right or am I wrong?
Right, but that was the point where I was kind of taking over because that was just like
What do you mean?
Disgusting, to be honest.
Okay, I think what's disgusting was your behavior, if I'm going to be honest.
Right. Yeah,
And
I think both sides
understand.
were a little bit.
I don't know how you were raised, and that's okay, right? But here's the thing: we are in a professional environment. Now, this behavior that you were displaying, not including what is in this statement, regardless who might be trying to like hype you up for doing this, it's not a good look. And Brandi, you are a good officer, and you rolling around in the mud with some of the others, it's not going to help your career in the long run. I promise you that. I've been around for a while.
But
Now,
I'm tired of
what
people
should
saying
happen?
sly comments.
What should happen? What should happen is that you, as an officer, should recognize you are on a scene, and what that means is that you work together with the others in order to come to a resolution. However, the moment you find it appropriate to have a argument in front of a 95, you have lost completely why you are doing this job. And secondly, to make decisions over the primary is not something you want to start doing, because I want you to think about for a second here, if you're in that same position where you are the primary and have all the information, and someone else came and said, you know what, fuck Brandi, I'm going to do it this way. How is that going to make you feel?
I mean, I've had that happen, and it's because it's the better call.
It is.
Right, I agree. We shouldn't. I'm going to talk now because you've been talking.
No. I'm going to let you talk. Let me close up so I can actually make the point. Is that the better call is not the way that it works. There is a reason why there's always been a system. The primary makes the decision. The better call, there is no better call. They are different calls. And not to mention, you're a senior officer. You can't make that decision. You don't have the authority to.
I can't make the authority to change someone's call or change Marshall's call that was primary on scene.
Either.
Because I certainly can take over primary of a scene of someone that's below a senior. So an officer or PPO. I'm not sure if I could have done that to. Yes, I can. If they're not doing it right, and I feel as if I need to step in as a senior, I most certainly can.
Is Ruth's a marshal? You know that, right?
Yeah, but so this is where I come into where I'm thinking this is not right. I think I should take over right now. Maybe I'm wrong. I was under the understanding that LSPD can do that.
No.
I was informed about jurisdiction, and I was wrong about that. I did make a comment about that. But I was under the wrong information. So I was wrong on that.
Yeah,
right?
no, you're fine.
So,
listen, I'm not coming here to lambast you.
No, that's fine. It's just that sly comment from Chapman shouldn't be like, that's the only reason why.
I don't think that's a sly comment.
It was, though, because he was upset about how I talked to him earlier on scene when I was telling him not to put him in my car because he was upset I was letting him go. That's really why. So he said that sly comment under his breath. He thought I didn't hear it, but I fucking heard it. In front of the 95 and in front of Ruth and in front of Pratt.
Okay. Look, here's what we're going to do. I'm gonna have a chat with Chapman. If I got to bring both of y'all into a room, we can figure it out. I don't think it needs to get that deep, but there's 2 or 3 critical points here, right? And Chapman, I'm gonna handle him very different than this conversation's going.
Right, and then there's
the first thing. Let's make this very clear because I don't want you to get fucked out of this.
Right.
Because look. I'm just going to be rather blunt here, right? Not everyone has your best interest in heart. You are, at the end of the day, will be a pawn, whether you like it or not, for other people's pleasure. And what I mean by that is if you're told to do foolish, dumb things and then you get wrapped up, it's not going to be any skin off anyone's back. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
No, you as a officer cannot take jurisdiction from the state. That is not how it works. Whomever told you that is grossly mistaken, and is hoping you do something
right away.
Yeah, is hoping you do something stupid so that they can have like their fucking moment to be like, oh my God, now we're just going to challenge this in the court. No, and then they're going to get embarrassed, and guess what happens? They get to show up for 5 minutes for a ha-ha he-he while you're holding the bag, right?
Right. So I was under that impression, and when Ruth immediately responded, that's not how it works, I completely dropped that whole argument because she was probably right, and that's when I asked after the whole thing. But then in the middle of it, I just don't see the, like, we're letting him go because you let the guy that was GSR negative go. Like, that was just crazy.
I'm going to break down what I think occurred. I think that Chapman was probably out of line. I think you may have been out of line, and instead of the three of y'all,
100%.
instead of the three of y'all getting together and acting professional, which mind you, and I don't want to weigh who was more or less professional. Like I said, I'm going to have a very stern conversation.
I agree. I was unprofessional, but I think it's like
if one person's acting.
At a point.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry. I'm just at a point where I feel like people think they can walk over me because I'm Brandi. Right? Like, I'm bubbly, I'm loud, like, I'm usually nice. I let everyone, like, if they think it's the better call, do it despite my opinion. And this is like the one time where I'm like, no, this is like crossing the line for me personally.
Chapman wanted look, at the end of the, I don't know what the crossing the line thing was. It sounded like it was a disagreement, right?
When I mean crossing the line, I'm like, I'm tired of people like making calls, like, just that aren't right. Like, that just was not right. That did not sit right with me. So that's why I did that.
But the thing
Pred
is,
was there to back me up. So
Pred's half retarded. I'm not concerned. He's been acting. The guy literally is using you guys for his own fucking bullshit, and eventually you'll learn that. It doesn't matter. The guy, he's not interested in being chief of police. He already said he's going to quit 2 or 3 times. But I
should have just let it happen and then talked after.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
I understand that, but I was just heated in the moment because I felt like I was being spited.
I don't think you were being spited. And this is the problem with and I want to be clear here. It's not just you that I think is fucked up here, right? Fucked up in this situation is what I'm saying. If there's a disagreement, how to handle, a long time ago, every serious scene meant everybody gets together who is processing and they collectively decide. But for some horseshit reason, whether it was like the budget battles or whatever the fuck it was, we're now at a place where like nobody is working as a team, not even within their own departments, right? A scene happens, one person fucks off and charges the way they want, another person fucks off and charges the way they want, and we end up with complete like ass backwards police reports. It's why things are embarrassingly bad today, and it's something that is well known and probably not even communicated to the rest of the department. No, PD is considered a fucking joke right now, quite frankly. Once that gang-related shooting happens, every single individual who is processing and has information should collectively be making a decision. Not one person, not independently, no, together. And that would have solved this problem, because the reason, and I'll tell you this because, unless you want to chat with him directly, but I think where things gone, it's probably better for it to just come from me and then I talk to Chapman separately, is regardless of if someone is GSR positive or negative, does not mean whether or not we can press gang-related shooting, right? Now, it sounded like Ruth and Chapman wanted to press charges on all of them, right? And
yeah, but they never told me to not let this person go. So this is where they're just letting it happen, so a problem arises, right? I don't think I
can promise you that these two do not function that way. If they did, I'd fire them.
Okay, that's why I was a little off guard by Ruth, because I've like, Ruth has asked me for things before, and like I never understood why people don't like Ruth. I've always seen like the good in Ruth, always, like even when she was BCSO, like for the short time. But that's why I was a little caught off guard. So I was like,
I don't think Ruth is someone that has the time to set someone up just to fuck with them. We don't operate that way, and if anyone did operate, I would quite literally take their badge, like, today, right? I think that's fucking dog shit. I think it's toxic. We don't allow that in the Marshals. Not on a serious scene. If it's some, like, fuckery shit, whatever, right? But on a gang-related shooting scene, if someone is setting another officer up for failure intentionally, they have no place in SASM. I think what you witnessed there is an expectation that there would have been a communication. They wanted to charge both. For some reason, that conversation didn't happen. I'll chat with Ruth about it as well, because they need to do better with that too, including communicating if that's not normal. Now, as a consequence of one not getting charged, they wanted to let the other one go. Not so that they could not charge them, but because they had the intention to actually track them for where they go to re-equip. Now, unfortunately, this turned into a shit show, which it should not have. And it seems like a failure in communication by all parties. Once again, I don't want to weigh who was worse or not, or this and that, because it's impossible. I wasn't there. But I have to work off what I see, and this is, you should not be putting this stuff in a statement. This is going to get you fucked up. Specifically, let me read this out loud to you, and you tell me if you think this is okay. She saw the Marshals taking off one of the suspects, shackled off, and asked, "Are you letting them go?" Lynn heard a sly comment from M. Chapman saying, "Well, if you're going to let them go, we are letting them go too," because he had no weapon, but several units witnessed him, man or mask, during a da-da-da-da-da-da. This is not, these are not professional statements.
Well, that's what happened, right? I just emphasized it.
Do you know what happens next?
What happens next?
If this is what people start doing?
Well, I feel like this is a one-off thing. I don't think this is people thing. I think I made a mistake in the heat of the moment because I felt like I was being spited by this Chapman guy who I've never met since the scene started. As soon as I arrived on scene, they asked for 77s, and then they said nothing as people are getting shot, as people are still running around with class 2s when enough units were there. So that's when I had to roll in and say, you know, guns away, under arrest, right? Like nothing happened once I got there on scene. And I was at MRPD, so MRPD to Alta and Vespucci is not far.
I feel like, oh my God.
So it's like the leading was just poor anyways, which I'm not even sure why Marshals are leading scenes like that, right? Like, I don't know. I don't understand if
Brandi,
you guys get to that and all that, but it was just poor from the start,
Brandi, listen. I think you're getting caught up too much on things that are kind of irrelevant. You know, they were witness to something. They called backup. They are inherently the lead, right?
Right, and did nothing once LSPD got there and BCSO.
Brandi.
I mean, is that wrong or no? Is that what they told you?
I'm just hearing what you're saying, and I'm like,
and all that.
I'm just like confused.
I'm just remembering the situation once I got there. It was just like poor leading from the start, now that I think about it. Just that we've been on the phone for 18 minutes. I had to think about how it started from the start to end. Like, they said nothing once we arrived on scene.
Don't you recognize these as all being things that, yeah, but I don't see the relevance in any of this.
Well, I mean, like, I think it adds to the fact how, like, we had to take over primary from the start. I feel like it was just poorly.
Do you know
done
what
from
primary
the start.
means?
But it's just the first person on scene and then they lead the scene, correct?
No.
Okay, what does primary mean?
A primary is not necessarily, holy fuck. So a primary does not have to be the one leading a shootout. A primary is the first on scene and can be somebody that is leading the shootout or the situation. The primary is the one that has the initial context, the initial RS, the initial PC. They're called the primary because they're the ones that, when a court case occurs, is the one that is articulating why law enforcement began a detention or whatever it may be. Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. at the end of the day, I think what I did at CMC was wrong. It shouldn't have been done. It should have been done after, and I should have let happen what was going to happen regardless, and then talked about it after. I do see that. I do see that.
Okay. And then what about putting this kind of stuff in a report?
I mean,
because then
okay, if I uncapitalized everything, would you be less? What is the issue? That I said what happened on scene?
Reports. Well, that's Brandi. Do you recognize you have a bit of sass in this report, right? And you recognize that this is Do you recognize that this is a signed affidavit? And that as a signed affidavit, I then dig into it. And then when I dig into it, and I learn that, you know, these other things get you jammed up as well, right?
Right. But okay, how I'm just confused because it's not like.
So let me give you an example, right?
It's the same thing of Ruth saying go fuck herself, like Pred saying that. Like, do you want what is that?
Where does go fuck yourself come from?
Pred stated that he doesn't even have SASM SOPs and for Ruth to go fuck herself. So is that not like, should I not include things that happen on the scene in the middle of it?
I think Ruth should not be doing that either. I'm only seeing that now.
Because,
and like I said, I'm having a chat with you. They are going to also have a very stern conversation. This sounds like a lot of just embarrassing, you know, low tier behavior, like by everybody. And that's why I'm having these direct conversations. And it needs to stop. These are signed affidavits. We are law enforcement. These go to court. When you sign a affidavit, and that includes if someone goes and starts fucking putting their goddamn dirty laundry into a police report, it means that we have to, I reading this have to then react to it, and then I have to say, okay, why is a law enforcement officer trying to take jurisdiction for SASM ACR suspended, right? These are not things I'm going to do. But these are things that people are starting to
jurisdiction. That's why I mentioned after Ruth brought it up, I stopped talking about it because I was like, if she's saying that, she wouldn't say that if she didn't know anything about it, right?
Yeah.
I was under the impression that it was, and then I assumed literally right after I sent the guy up, I asked, and then I was like, oh, okay, I was wrong on that part when I said it to Ruth.
Yeah, these are not like MySpace what is it? Fucking live journal entries or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just like this is just poor all around. Like I said, look, here's what we'll do. Tomorrow, you, Ruth, have a chat. This sounds like some bullshit in the moment. I'm just trying to put a curb to it, like, in advance.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it needs to go farther than this. I understand my mistakes. I understand I could have done 1,000 times better on the scene, but, you know, that Chapman guy, I don't know. He sounds like, I don't know if I'm misinterpreting his attitude, which I know happens.
I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. I have to go.
Okay?
We should talk.
Are you okay? Is this something
send me
call in or no?
Send me a ping and I'll come on over. Sorry, I was dealing with PD drama there. No, I'm good. Just some terrorism state bullshit. I was getting anonymous pings throughout the entire conversation. So.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah. No, I'm talking to you.
I don't know if I hung up or you hung up, and then I didn't.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Like I said, look, look, Brandi, I want to just sum it up, right? There's a lot of inappropriate behavior taking place at the top, high command level. I don't want you to get affected by it. I don't want my marshals to. I don't want it to turn into a shit show because it's not healthy, right? So
I understand.
And I'm gonna have a chat with Ruth. She should not be putting that in there either. I want you all working together. It's leave the the drama to the people that enjoy that shit.
Okay, understood,
all right,
Mr.
easy.
Knott.
All right, I appreciate it, Brandi.
No problem.
All right.
Bye now.
Take care. Brandi's a good cop. I don't want her to get egged on by into doing this dumb shit. I'm sure, like, God knows, like, maybe there was some I'm sure there was some fuckery by Ruth and Chapman as well, which I'll get to the bottom of. But like, none of them should be putting that shit into a fucking affidavit, into a fucking police report. And this, like, people's feelings getting hurt on a fucking scene, I don't give a shit. Keep those feelings off scene. And you know, if you get way too caught up in that shit, don't be surprised when you get slapped down real hard, because that shit's getting too much. And obviously there's a very clear training issue, not understanding some very simple principles, like what is a scene lead? What does that mean? You can't just be like, I disagree, therefore you need to listen to me. Who the fuck are you? Right? That's not how it works. Shit, I need the ping again. God damn it. Fucking poor Capped. Fucking poor Capped. Fucking poor Cap, dude.